Hey everyone, Eva Thompson here. Welcome back to this channel, or if you're listening to this on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts, then welcome back as well. Today I want to talk about long distance relationships and feeling distant from your partner and what to do. Whether it's because of retroactive jealousy, whether it's because of relationship anxiety, whether it's because of ROCD, when you feel distant, it can be really difficult because that person is not there to hug you, to comfort you, and it can get quite scary because part of you doesn't want the relationship to end, but also you're having these feelings that you might not know what to do with. So I want to give you some tips in today's video if you are feeling distant in your long distance relationship. And the first one is avoid texting. When you are in a long distance relationship, texting, I think, should be avoided altogether, but especially when it comes to arguments or disagreements, or if you need to bring something up to your partner that's bothering you, always try to call or FaceTime, because over text, it's just so easy for things to be misunderstood on both ends. So the first thing is, it sounds very simple, but it takes commitment because it's so easy to just write that text indicating to your partner that you're annoyed about something, and then it can just sort of spiral from there. The second thing you can do is avoid suppressing that emotion and being afraid of it, because feelings come and feelings go. But when we try to push an emotion away, it often becomes stronger. When we try to force a feeling, it often is difficult to do so. So the opposite happens. It's okay to feel distant from your partner sometimes. It doesn't mean that the relationship is coming to an end. It doesn't mean that you're not right for each other. These are normal feelings to have. You don't have to be, especially for people that have ROCD, you don't have to be in love all the time, 24/7, or feel that way at least all the time. It's okay to feel these feelings. If you can arrange something like a date night over FaceTime, or just a couple of hours to catch up and talk to each other, then do that. But I do think that it's okay to accept these emotions without trying to change them. Another thing that is very important when it comes to long distance is managing each other's expectations and trusting one another. And this can be difficult because some people don't want to bring up their expectations or talk about how they feel because they don't want to seem controlling. And I want to talk to you about a way that you can communicate your feelings and find a solution with your partner if you are feeling this way. So if you feel distant, first of all, why do you feel distant? Is it because of an argument that was had? Is it because they did something? Is it because of different things that are going on in your life? Really pinpoint what it is that's making you feel distant. If your partner is doing things that causes you to feel insecure, question the relationship, question the trust, feel distant, then it's okay to communicate that using the words, when you do this, I feel this way. So for example, they might go out with their friends and they might go drinking and you might feel insecure about it, or that might cause you to feel distant. Instead of saying, you make me feel like insecure when you go out, or why did you have to go out last night, or why didn't you text me? It's good to just let them know how you feel, but not force them to change it. So you can come to a solution together. So for example, I feel insecure and distant and anxious when you go out and you don't text me, or just when you go out with these people, full stop, that I don't know, that I don't trust, that I don't like, whatever. You're allowed to have these feelings. When you say that, say it and then be quiet, and your partner can then communicate how they are comfortable changing that, where they want to compromise and where they don't want to compromise, because you're not blaming them. You're not saying, you made me feel, because of you, I feel this way. It's, I feel this way when this happens. I feel anxious when we go so many hours without talking, or I feel distant when you do this and this and this. Say it and then just be quiet without blaming them, without expecting anything from them. And then they will tell you, okay, well, how can they compromise on this? It could be, okay, well, I'll make sure that we are in touch more. Or it might be that, okay, I see where you're coming from. I don't really care to go out with these people. I'm not going to do it anymore. And that's not controlling. If it's coming from them and they are willing to compromise in order to make you feel comfortable because the relationship is a priority, then I personally don't think that that's a problem. But managing each other's expectations, generally speaking, in a long-distance relationship is really important. So talking about your feelings openly, trusting each other, not judging each other, and just having really good communication, I think is important when it comes to long distance. As well as what I said before, don't suppress the feelings. Don't try and force yourself out of that mood if that is where you're in. Don't wallow in it, obviously, for like weeks. But it's okay to go a few days feeling down, feeling distant, feeling in your own head, feeling anxious. It's okay. Don't suppress it. But like I said, when you're ready to communicate how you feel, do so using those words. I feel this way because of this. I feel this way when this happens. And then let your partner communicate what they are willing to do to help you through this. Because you probably would do the same. If your partner came to you and said, hey, when you do this, it makes me feel uncomfortable. Instead of getting defensive or anything like that, if you're a team, if you're in a relationship, if you want to be together, then the priority should be to help each other feel comfortable without compromising, obviously, your own needs and your own wants in your life outside the relationship. So remember, guys, avoid texting, work on managing each other's expectations, open communication, try not to judge each other, try not to suppress the emotions, and talk about your boundaries, talk about what makes you feel comfortable and what doesn't, and know that compromising in a relationship where you are comfortable doing so is healthy. There's nothing wrong with that. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again soon. Take care.